This video is going to cover the basics of appointment scheduling with FunnelFLARE. Arguably, one of the easiest ways to engage with a prospect is to hand them a link to your appointment scheduler, let the prospect choose which time is right for the prospect to engage with you on their own time. So each sales user in FunnelFLARE gets their own fully featured appointment scheduling system. In this video, I'm going to cover, at first, I'll talk about the appointment scheduling landing page. Then I'll talk about configuring the appointment scheduling object, and then I'll talk about configuring the lead processing workflow to manage communications. So when you create a new account in FunnelFLARE, a landing page will automatically be created for your appointment scheduler. These landing pages are customizable, responsive, public landing pages. So if you see this person here, AJ has a FunnelFLARE account, and hence an appointment scheduling object was created. And this landing page here, which is a public landing page, is available for AJ to share with his prospects in his emails, etc. Basically, AJ would take this link, put it in his footer of his signature, or use it in drip campaigns, etc. To edit landing pages, you browse to Assets, Publish Pages. If you're admin, all sales users' landing pages will be editable here. If you're not admin, you'll only see a link to the landing page associated with your account. So basically, you browse to Assets, Publish Pages, find your landing page, click the pencil to edit the page. This is the landing page editor. And editing these landing pages is very simple. You just click into the specific block and edit that specific block. The pages are constructed using this editor. It's rows, which are here, which is your structure, and there's multiple different structure types, and content. And you take the content, drag the content into the column, edit the content by clicking it. So it's a very simple editor to use. So the most important part of this landing page is, of course, the form. And to edit this form, you hover over the form, click this pencil, which will open the form in a new tab. The form editor is very similar to the landing page editor. Again, it's structure and content, but now there's a lot of form elements that you can drag and drop into this onto this form. The form is a multi-page form, and if you see here, you can add pages to the form and you can remove pages from the form. I recommend always starting with the calendar up front, and then once the prospect chooses a time, they will of course fill out a lot more details, or be willing to fill out a lot more details in the rest of the form because they want to use their time wisely. Now the appointment scheduling object here, if you hover, you'll see here you can select which appointment scheduler is going to be used on this form. Now obviously, as you see here, you can choose any of the salespeople's appointment schedulers, but I would leave it as is, which is configured to the sales user who owns the appointment scheduling object. So it's fairly simple. It's basically, you can expand on what questions are asked, etc. And when this form is filled out, you as a salesperson will of course get notified that somebody just booked a meeting with you. Now the next thing I'm going to talk about is configuring the appointment scheduling object. The appointment scheduling object maintains a relationship between your personal calendars, whether it's in Google or Outlook, and what is publicly available for prospects to choose times. To configure the appointment scheduling object, you browse to Assets, Appointments, and this screen will be displayed. If you're admin, you will see every salesperson's appointment scheduling object. If you're not admin, you will just see the appointment scheduler associated with your account. And similar to the landing page, you click on this pencil, which brings up the appointment scheduling configuration screen. And this screen, it's fairly simple. There's the calendar connection. So basically, you connect your Google or Office 365 calendar. We as well support GoToMeeting if you're going to use GoToMeeting for your appointment schedules. But basically, you put in your email address. Once the calendar is added, you click Authenticate. That will open a new screen that will use OAuth to give permissions to FunnelFLARE to book and view appointments within your calendar. The next part of the appointment scheduler object is this, and this is where you draw the availability that you're going to present to prospects to book time with you. And it's fairly simple, is that which is in these dark areas, and you can just drag and drop dark areas onto the calendar, which is available in your linked calendar will be exposed to prospects for booking. So the way it's drawn here, AJ is only allowing appointments to be booked between 9 and 11 and 1 through 4. So basically the appointment scheduling landing page will show appointments only in this time range. So if, for example, AJ has an appointment already booked on Monday at 9 a.m., the landing page with the calendar would only present times outside of 9 a.m. on Monday as available for prospects to book. So in summary, the publicly facing landing page for booking appointments will present time slots that are in this dark area which are available in the linked calendars. The next tab I want to show you here is the scheduling tab. So the scheduling tab, this is where you configure how often you allow people to book meetings, how many meetings a day there's going to be, how far in the future people can book meetings, etc. I recommend keeping this as simple as possible. So for example, just so there's no surprises, the prospects can only book meetings no earlier than 4 hours in advance and no farther than 2 weeks in advance. Book them on the hour, 1 hour length, very simple. The more options you give the prospect, the less likely they're going to fill out the page. Now the scheduling page, we went over that, is basically on this tab. You can click this button here and it will open the appointment scheduling landing page that's associated with this account. Now all communications between the prospect and the salesperson with regards to this appointment schedule, all reminders related to an appointment scheduler are managed in a single workflow in the account. That workflow is in automation, lead processing, which brings up this workflow here, if you're admin. Now, if you click this pencil, you can edit this workflow. So this is the same workflow editor that's used for the drip campaigns. The idea here is that the communication between the prospect who booked a meeting and the salesperson is going to be the same for all salespeople. So this workflow is shared by all appointment schedulers inside the platform. And basically what happens when somebody books a meeting, if it has GoToMeeting, it'll follow this path and give all the GoToMeeting links. If the appointment scheduler does not have GoToMeeting, it's going to send an email to the prospect, send an email to the appointment scheduler owner, which is the salesperson that the appointment was booked with. There's going to be a bunch of reminders, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now you could actually inject a SMS message in here to do text reminders, etc. End of the day, it's a very simple workflow. As is, you shouldn't have to change anything in this workflow. It should work right out of the box. So that covers the basics of the appointment scheduling with FunnelFLARE. So it's really just a landing page that's connected to your calendar with some features to control how often people can book meetings, and there's a full workflow for reminding the prospect that they've got an upcoming meeting and reminding the salesperson that somebody has booked a meeting with you.